And so, Danny,
How you doing, boys?
what delusion are you filling our screens with today?
Mate, I only come with the truth and honest facts, and that's it.
Danny,
That's it. There's no delusion
80
here.
minutes, Danny, 80 minutes. Ben said, I still feel like we're going to win. I was like, is Danny sitting here? What's going on? What is going on? Deluded.
Look, I'm realistic, right? I'm realistic, but look, today I don't think it is such the worst kind of thing that could have happened that we got knocked out. I mean, look, every Spurs fan wants to see us lift a trophy, of course, right? That's why we are football fans. We live for the moments like we saw in Bilbao in the summer, right? But there's also, you've got to have the element of realism for where we are right now and what's actually going on and also looking at the injuries, looking at what we're trying to achieve this season. And I think I actually, to be honest, I actually was quite surprised with the amount of chances we actually had in the game. To be honest, I think if we did, I think Frank is spot on again. Like if we had a striker who could actually finish the ball, essentially is what he was saying, right? I think we could have scored a couple goals tonight, which is really good because I think Newcastle had a stronger starting 11 than we did tonight. Given that we did have quite a fairly strong starting 11, I still think that we've got to remember that last season that team did finish 17th in the league, and if it wasn't for the other teams below us, we would have got relegated. Like that's how bad it was, right? So we've got to remember that. We've got to remember that we are we're a team that he's trying to get the best and maximize the performance and the results we can get with what we have, right? And I think it's evident and it's very clear for all of us to see that the squad is nowhere near the levels we want to be. Like Stel and Arian said, and like some of the other guys have said tonight, even on other shows as well, right? If you look at Arsenal's team that played tonight, it was like a complete different team, yet it was so strong. Like it was ridiculously strong, right? And that is the difference of us not having a squad that's strong enough to compete on all fronts. And I think even Stel said it. I think he said it at the beginning of the season, or even last season when we brought in Frank. When we brought in Frank in the summer, that it depends on what Spurs fans genuinely want, right? Because at this current moment, Tottenham cannot compete on all four fronts. The squad is just nowhere near good enough. It's just not, right? Last season, how many people were saying that our front attackers were a below level rated Premier League level, if not even worse, if not Championship level? Some people were saying, right? Personally, I think it's that bottom level of the Premier League. That's kind of where I think that squad or that attack, bar Kudus, right, is. I think that's the level of what it is. So for me, the fact that Frank is doing what he's doing right now, we're still the best record away from home in the league. We still haven't lost in the Champions League, right? And the fact that he's doing it with the team that finished 17th last season, for me, is beyond unbelievable. It's actually remarkable what he's doing. Like it's crazy that he's actually managed.
Danny, can I just clear this up? Just quickly, like, so what you're saying is that going out of the Carabao Cup today is part of the bigger picture?
I think, yeah. No, do you know what? Do you know what, Ben? I think when I saw that team today, right, I said to myself, "We're not winning this match."
Oh.
Like I just felt we're not winning it. Right? It's the only way we can win a football match at this moment in time, like, is if we play our best team. That's just how it is, right? That's how I feel. So seeing that, I just had this feeling and I saw Newcastle's team. I was like, yeah, they're gonna beat us today. It might not be a demolition job like it was 2 years ago when they beat us 6-1 or something.
I think Newcastle actually made more changes from the weekend than we did.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, look at the bench they had today. Their bench was strong.
Yeah,
they had a strong bench, right? Compared to us, like it was night and day. Like the amount of the players that they could bring on and what we could bring on, and I think that's again shows the levels of where we are, right? But the fact that Frank managed to get competitive with the squad that he has and the way he's having to rotate, plus you've got to remember the injuries we've got. We were using Pauline as our centre back because we haven't got any other recognised centre back in the squad right now, right? Yeah. So you've got to look at it like that too. So I'm very very impressed with the way Frank is performing at this moment in time, and I think this is a sign of what's to come if he's given, say for example, we have another couple of windows like we had in the summer where we bring in actual quality. I think the possibilities are endless. It's limitless to what Frank could achieve at this club, to be honest, right? But I think it's going to take time, and I think that's the one thing that Spurs fans need to kind of, they just need to have a bit. I know it's a horrible word to use, and we hate using the word like trust the process or patience, but unfortunately, it is going to have to be like we have to give it a bit of time because the cliche is Rome wasn't built in a day, right? It just wasn't, and it's the same for Spurs, right? But what you want to look at is when a new manager comes into a club is you want to see that they're doing the right things and they're getting the fundamentals in place. And I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's building from the back. He's getting the structure in place, right? And the fact that he's taken a team that's 17th to a team that's really hard to beat, right, is amazing that he's been able to. He's actually done that. Now you go now. I think where our biggest problem, and also kind of what Stel was mentioned again earlier, it's actually insane that we're the highest scorers in the Premier League. That is madness. And the fact that we've got let's put it into perspective, right? The fact that we're the highest scorers, yet we've got a forward line Barcudas that's a below level Premier League team, maybe like a 15th in the table type of level team, right?
How many of them have actually scored?
I know, and this is the crazy thing, Ben. That's the craziest thing, right? So you now go and add like just for argument's sake, you go and add an Ivan Toney, you go and add a Lookman on the left, right? You've got Kudus now. Then you've got a Xavi that's I think still going to come. He's going to be an amazing player for us, right? You add that all together, then you're looking at a completely different team that can actually score and penetrate teams, which is what we're not doing at the moment. And then you maybe add another number 8, a proper number 8, like a Ruben Neves or a ball playing number 8, right? Like a was his name Angelo Stiller? Sorry, Angelo Stiller, right? Someone like that. You go and add some quality like that, and this team is transformed. And then you're looking at not just a strong first 11, you're looking at a very very top first 11, right? And then you have to start, and then the players that are currently playing now, like your Johnsons, like your Tells, like your Richarlisons, you replace them with quality, right? Better quality, and then you can say, all right, let's see what we can do in all competitions. But right now, I think Frank he's gonna try go for the competitions like he did today, right? But at the same time, he's got to be careful and manage the squad carefully. And I think that's what you can see he's doing, right? Because he doesn't want to get the key players injured. He doesn't want the Van der Vens injured for a long time. He doesn't want the Chavis and the Romeros injured for too long, and the Udogis and this kind of stuff, because they are key players to how we play right now, and we need them fit for as long as possible. So yeah, look, I think today is, look, if we're talking about the game today, I think we did well considering all things considered, right? I know, and the referee decision, look, for me personally, I think Spurs should have woken up a lot more on that corner, right? The way that I saw it was Spence was taking his time to delay the game, right? He could have literally got up quickly and got back into position, but he strolled back, and all the other Spurs players, rather than focusing on what was actually happening, they were moaning at the referee, trying to get the referee's attention, when you should be doing your job, which is to focus on the ball and seeing the actual the position of play and what's going on. Be aware of your surroundings. That's what they weren't doing, right? And then because they conceded the goal, they started to blame the situation of what the ref did by saying that, look, Spence was tying his laces. But let's be honest, right? Like that's a poor excuse. That's an excuse of the Spurs players not doing their jobs, right? If they were doing their jobs, that situation never would have happened. So, in my opinion, that was the Spurs players' fault, not the referee's fault, right? That's just on that decision. But in the balance of play, I thought we did all right. Like, considering, I actually genuinely think we did all right. And I think if you have a better striker, look, we can clearly see Muani. He wants to be the guy who's going to use up front until January, until we can get another striker, because every time I've seen Muani play, he looks like a striker, right? Offers more. He's better at passing, better at holding the ball, better at running at defenders. He's better at link-up play. And until Solanke's fit, right, I think he will be the striker. And then it's a battle between Solanke and Muani, who's going to be the striker until January, basically. But I'm quite excited because I don't think we've seen the best of Tottenham yet, and the fact that we're seeing what we're seeing now. Look, every Spurs fan wants to see this free-flowing attacking football, but they've got to have an element of realism to what's happening right now. And I do think that's going to come. It might not even come this season, but I've kind of always said that. I've kind of always said, come January, we need to see what happens in January. But I think Spurs, if we get a left winger and a striker, right, in January, like better than what we've got right now, I think you're going to see a completely different Tottenham from January onwards for the rest of the season. Personally,
all right, let's hope that happens.
But yeah, look, it's exciting time. I think Spurs fans should be excited for what's to come, not moaning about one loss here, one loss there. Of course, look, we're out the cup competition. We wanted to go through, and yes, it probably is the best chance we would have got for another trophy this season. But I'm kind of with you, Ben, where it's kind of like for the future of what I think Frank can achieve at this club, I think the most important thing right now, and I know I hate using this as the example, unfortunately, where we are and where the other clubs are, in order for us to catch up to them, we have to be playing Champions League football. That is a given, right?
Yeah.
And the only way we can attract better players is by being in the Champions League. So as much as right now I'd love to see a trophy, look, the good thing is, guys, we don't have to sit here and say we haven't won a trophy in 16 years, 17 years, 18 years. We won a trophy last season, and a big trophy, right? So we've kind of got the monkey off our back. We had a good time. We celebrated it. Now it's kind of like I kind of feel at this moment, I want us to finish in the top 5 if that's Champions League football, and I want us to go again with quality again in the summer, right? Because if the club can bring in like quality in January, quality in the summer, I think we're going to see an even better Tottenham next season and much stronger squad. So
just say how it is, Danny. Just tell everyone to look at the bigger picture. That's what it's all about.
It's the bigger picture, Ben. It's the bigger picture, boys. You know it, mate. You know it. Eventually, we'll see ENIC and Lewis sell up. Look, but the bigger picture on that, yeah, I'll say it for everyone, right? The bigger picture on that, I believe that they're going to build Tottenham up to a much better level of competitive team, right? I think they're going to do that because at the end of the day, what do these owners always want? They want the money, right? They want a return on their investment, right? If you pump in a couple 100 million and you can raise the level of the overall price of the club to say 5 billion instead, or even more, right? Then you're gonna it's business, right? It's you invest a little to make a much larger profit, right? And I think it could be. Look, I said it would be 18 months. Right? I think now maybe 2 years, 2 to 3 years. But I think in that period, if Tottenham have progressed in the way that I think they want Tottenham to progress on the football pitch, right? I think then it'll be a matter of who's willing to pay a world record fee for buying Tottenham Hotspur, because that's what it's going to be when we do eventually sell, in my opinion.
All right, Danny, always a pleasure, my friend. Are you in London or Amsterdam right now? We never know with you.
I'm in Amsterdam. I'm back tomorrow. But I actually sent you a message. But I'm gonna be in the studio after the game on Saturday. So I'll be seeing you and Brian in the studio then.
You're in the studio on Saturday.
No, he said when I saw him before he went.
Yeah.
That he's
after the game. After the game.
After the game.
He's going to the game.
After the game.
Going to the game.
Yeah, so I'll see you on Saturday, and I'll bring your padel balls, mate.
Yeah, you better bring my padel balls. I've been waiting for weeks for them.
I know, but yeah. Anyway, nice to see you, boys, and Sim, I'll see you soon, and Brian and Ben, I'll see you on Saturday, man.
I'll see you at the game, Danny.
Oh yeah, I'll see you at the game. Yeah, I'll see you at the game. And also, so on the game, by the way, I think we're actually going to beat them, and I know Sammy's in the back, right? And I said to him, don't get too cocky, mate, because I think this time we're beating you lot. We're beating the scumbag. So come on, you Spurs.
I will say,
Come on.
last time I did a Chelsea Spurs watch along with Sammy in the studio, we won 2-0.
He was actually on screen that day.
He was on screen.
We need to get him on screen again for this one.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'll tell you. Do you know what he did, which Sammy did brilliantly, and I think he's a G for doing this. He bought a Chelsea shirt from whatever sports shop he was,
Sports Direct or whatever.
or whatever it was, didn't take off the tag, wore it, lost, took it back for a refund on Monday. Genius move. He's a
I
genius.
love that, Sammy. That's brilliant. But look, I think our time's come now to put them in their place for a year. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, look forward to Saturday, boys.
Big up, Danny. Big up.
See you later, boys.
See you later.